Hey, welcome to the latest edition of the Key Hire live stream for human capital for small business. My name is Corey Harlock. I'm the creator of Key Hire, where we work with small business owners in all aspects of their human capital. So it could be organizational chart planning, succession planning. It could be creating a new position for your business, or it could be upgrading a current role in your business. But we work with you and partner with you to help make your business stronger through human capital. Today, and this live stream is all about helping small business owners. That's what we're passionate about. I've always said there's no one out there championing the small business, the Fortune 500s of tomorrow. And that's what we want to do with Key Hire. And that's what this live stream is all about. And I met a super interesting guy a while ago, and I've been getting to know him, Philippe Flichy. He's French. My wife is French. She'd be very upset if I mispronounced his name. I probably did. He'll tell me when we get him on here. But he deals with cybersecurity and primarily with small business owners. And we had a super interesting conversation. I thought, well, this is something that small business owners need to be aware of. We need to know how to protect our business. And he's got some interesting stats he's gonna give you that will show you how important it is. So Matt, if we could bring Philippe on. And hey, welcome, Philippe. How are you?
Very good. Thanks, Corey.
Did I get it right?
Almost. Good enough.
How do you say it for real? What's the true
Flichy.
Flichy.
Yes.
Oh,
you said it very well. Very
Canadian. I said Flichy. I put an A in there. So Philippe, your business is Cykur. Give me a little blob on what Cykur is and what you do with small business. Give us the 30,000 foot.
We're trying to help small companies protect themselves against potential cyber threats, and we'll go over what it can represent.
Sure.
Basically, we're usually doing initially an assessment and then trying to help them get up to speed and feel more comfortable. And the reason for that is that actually 60% of small businesses who have been attacked fold within 6 months.
That's crazy. If it's not hard enough, right? The stats of a small business surviving in general, it's what, a 75 or 80% failure rate. All small businesses fail within the first 3 years. And then you take that 20% and say, if you get attacked, 60% of those people are going to be out of business too. Heck, yeah. We're not going to have any small business left. So you kind of started getting down the road, but what is a cyber attack, or what is cybersecurity? I guess we always think of, I got a cyber attack, someone hacked me, or they got into my email and they sent a link out to all my contacts. I'm sure that's an aspect of it, but kind of give us, the range of what could a cyber attack be?
Well, so the high level term is that we want to protect all information systems, hardware and software. And now information systems goes to your phone, to your everything. So, and that's the difficulty, is that we have more and more tools. We we're told, don't worry, we have everything under control. And now we're figuring out, it's quite difficult to maintain a good security.
So even if we're linking everything together, are we making it easier for them to get into all of our hardware and software?
No, if you protect that well, actually, it's what we call the single sign-on. So I do suggest that to the companies that work with. And the idea is to have one place where you have all the credentials. You have one credential for everything that you provide to the company. And then, of course, you secure that, and we'll go through that. And sure. By doing that, that means also that if someone is leaving, and especially if it's not in very good terms, then, you can lock everything with just one password being revoked, rather than trying to scramble to figure out where the hell are all those
right.
username and passwords.
Yeah, and I actually have a client who unfortunately that has happened, where they've taken a laptop and taken the information off there, and now they don't know what's gone on with it, right? And it's not a fun place to be.
Actually, one of the thing that I'm asked the most to do is onboarding and offboarding on the IT part of it. So people sometimes do it for the rest of HR, but doing it for IT, and it's a checklist.
Oh, to make sure that people that have left the company from the IT department didn't take sensitive information.
Any departments.
Yeah.
And make sure that they don't have access to your stuff.
That's crazy. So we were talking just a little bit before we came online about the different types of attacks that you can see, or what they will do. So I just kind of want people to understand, cyber is such it's got a million different definitions depending who you talk to. Everyone thinks they know what cyber is, and it can mean a whole bunch of different things. So maybe help us out to understand, oh, well, I got a business, I have a website, I have my software. What could a cyber attack look like?
Okay, so first of all, the statistics is that 95% of all attacks are somehow due to human negligence.
Okay.
So now the typical one is around email. Email is definitely the number one.
Right.
So what's happening? It can be email, but now it can be a web page. It can more and more, it's phones. It's a combination of things. They love sending you text messages because, you have a small screen, you have a little thing to click on, and boom, that's it. So how vulnerable are we? We tend to love the good bargain. So we always they always try to put you in a situation where you have a sense of urgency, a sense of good bargain, or trying to help. That are usually the three triggers. Remember, hackers are psychologists first. They understand, they go in your brain, and they're going to figure out how they can make you do something wrong. Right. Actually, on the trainings we have with the FBI, they're showing us how they're people impersonating, putting background noise and stuff like this, so that it really feels real, and the person starts spitting out the password for the admin of the network. Right. I've seen that live from an FBI agent, so it was not a hacking, but it was exactly like it would have been if it were.
He reenacted it for you. Yeah, and it's funny. I've talked to business owners who, they've been on vacation and their accounting gets a thing. Please transfer this much money right away, and they do it, and then they get back and they're like, "That was not me," right?
That's the most common thing. Is an email supposedly from the CEO to the CFO or some other C levels. One of the training that I provide, I show all those statistics. I'm a number guy, so and you know that. So but it's interesting that certain functions, salespeople are prime attack because then their email address is more out, and so boom, and also because they can spend money on things. So that's one aspect, but the other is trying. So in general, really never download a picture, a document, a video, or something if it's not someone that you trust or you have requested. Okay. Whenever email, check they're legitimate. I actually go through a whole session where I explain people, but the gist of it, when you see from Philippe Flichy, well, you click on that and you look for the real email, and you're going to find often that it's something totally different. Right. Or what they do is they do what we call domain spoofing. So they add something before or after the domain name, so it becomes their domain name. You look quickly and you don't pay attention, but it's not the domain name that it's supposed to come from.
Okay. And then, so the next thing I like to talk about is, terminology. I find a lot of people and business owners I talk to, they're required to do so much, and oftentimes new things come up, and they don't want to talk about them. Maybe because they don't want to be embarrassed by saying the wrong thing, or they don't know how to talk about cybersecurity. So as a business owner, what should I be listening for or talking about with my people what terminologies are relevant to cyber attacks and within a business from a business owner perspective?
Well, the first thing is password. I mean, that's so password. We had a little chat before the show today. Make long password, change them regularly. I change mine every 45 days. And some do that at 30 days. Don't do more than 2 months. Percolate then at least every 2 months. You have password managers. I won't name anyone, but I'll be happy to help some of your audience with few references that really help you manage. I only remember one password. And actually, the name of the software is called One Password. That's the goal. Is that and after that, all my passwords are at least 25 characters long, mix of everything, totally random, and change every 45 days.
That makes it very hard to tap in on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, my phone, fortunately, I have the thumb. So,
yeah.
But then once I have the thumb, then I can choose whether I enter the password or I use my thumb again to enter into that software. And then I copy paste the username and password. Oh, the other thing. Unfortunately, still a lot of companies are, because they had so many requests from the help desk, keep on using your email address as a user name. This is the most silly things you can do.
Sure. Yeah.
Because everyone knows it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
That's already one barrier that is gone. Then your password is the only one. Okay. So you start having what you're talking about, vocabulary or whatever. There's a jargon that you may hear more and more that is called, we say MFA, which stands for multi-factor authentication.
Right.
And that's when your bank is sending you a text message and you have some numbers that you have to put back into the web page or something like this.
Everyone does that now. I get that from my software and everything I use. Well, I've signed up for multi-factor, and so it's like we just sent you a text and enter that number in, and it takes a little longer, but you feel safer.
You have a brownie pound. Good for you.
Thank you. All right. Cool. And then so the last thing, as we're kind of getting close on time, is, if I'm a business owner and I'm thinking, oh man, everything Philippe has talked about today, I'm guilty of. What are kind of the top 2, 3, 4 things I can start doing now to make my business more secure from cyber attacks?
So we talked about never downloading anything from an email or web page that you don't think is good. Request before and then get the content. But if it was pushed to you, you can be very leery about that. Okay. USB drives. Be very careful who you're accepting to copy some file from on a USB drive, because often they have viruses in it, and then boom, they get in. But number one, we talked about the username, password. Then you make sure all your operating systems, all your software on auto update, because those companies are constantly updating their software for addressing the latest threats that they found. So that way already you have that. Okay. So that's a big thing. Use some type of antivirus on all the machines. Some are better than others, but at least if you have something, that's a good start. What else could I tell you to do first? Make sure you have backups of your most important files on an external drive that is not connected all the time to your device. And then make sure that you copy a new directory every time. So if you've been attacked, most of those backups, that the general backups that are on the cloud, they're going to back up something that has already been encrypted, basically, or infected, should I say. And so that the typical things that start infecting things, and suddenly, boom, they press on the red button and everything stops. So the things that are on your backup more than likely already have the trigger. So as soon as you put them back into your system, boom, that's it, they're blocked again. So maybe I'm going into too much now, but yeah, be very careful about really starting from scratch from a new machine if you've been blocked, because otherwise the virus is still around.
Okay. So what I heard was primarily update passwords, be careful with email, and auto update, and
Yes.
virus production.
Yeah.
That's how we can get started.
That would be, if everyone were doing that, we would be in much better shape. And
awesome.
Remember, one thing I didn't mention is that now they're targeting the smaller businesses to get into the small business and then go into the bigger business when you're doing business with bigger companies.
Wow.
And they found that, small companies tend not to have much protections. So it's easy money, as
Sure.
goes with the movie.
All right. Well, Philippe, we are at time here. So tell us, if I'm a small business owner, I'm out there listening, thinking, oh, crap, I need help. How do we get in touch with you? How do we reach you?
Philippe at cykur.com.
Okay.
As simple as that. Or you go cykur.com and you find us.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Matt's got his A game working today. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's great. So, Philippe, thanks so much. Appreciate your time and giving us your time to help educate small business.
It's my passion. I really want to protect the small companies. It's very important.
They're important to our economy, and glad there's a couple of us out there looking out for them. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much.